Hello, welcome back to Crusaders campaign, turn 10, episode 10. Playing as the Seljuks here. We have a candidate for adoption, it seems. Fantastic, very loyal indeed. We're going to adopt the gentleman. Baghdad offers some upgrade. Hashashin Master Guild 2000 though. No, we're going to decline it for now. We're not having that much money. Okay, before I move on, Lugotorix, who plays as Principality of Antioch, published a fantastic overview of his side of the story, because this is what we mainly encounter here, the Principality. So go and check it out. I have the link to his channel down in the description. Really well done. I really enjoyed watching it. I think it's fantastic. Go and have a look. Okay, now we're going to sort out, hopefully, Anatolia before we move on anywhere else. Okay, I want to perhaps place my spy there. All right, let's see if we can do that at some point. Okay, we're gonna try and build a tower here somewhere. Okay, we have an opening of a new front, it seems. Right, this is a little bit puzzling, but we shall see. There is something that needs to be done with regards to this. Probably we have a bit of money. Can I? The only entry for him into my territory is through here, so we're going to try and block it. Let's see what else can we do here. We were, yeah, tracing their armies there. Aha, there is another army we have here. We're going to potentially move this army elsewhere. Yes, because we want them to be moving out and into enemy territory, hopefully onto the offensive, and these guys can go here as well. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to retrain and recruit a couple of more units. I think couple of more, yes. How much is it? 110, 110. This one is superior in every way, so we're going to recruit them. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to recruit one more. There you go. Okay, fantastic. So hopefully they can chase him up next turn, join him. And I wanted to start a bit of a retraining. Let's see who we have with the least amount of men in the units. Okay, let's place these two. Okay, let's start retraining. 1, 2. In you go. Okay, we're going to retrain them as well. Alright, great. Yeah, this is our new member of the nobility. Right. There is an spy. Okay, I would like to actually track him if I can. Can we do that? Oh yes, and we encountered yet another one. We're already tracking him. Okay, let's just track this gentleman there. Yes, there is a target I had in mind, and I want to track this one here, here and here. Okay, that's sorted. Okay, we placed an agent here as well. Let's have a look. It's got solid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are rubbish. Okay, yeah, maybe we want to actually besiege this city. I'm not sure. So let's see. Okay, the agent has the traits. That is fantastic. Right, it would seem that I need more men to counter this army, because what I'm tracking here, I think, is another army. So he will have now 2 armies here in the area, which is not very good at all. We do not want that. Let's try and infiltrate this place. We only have 32% chance. That's not good enough. If we infiltrate, there you go. And so here we are. We opened the gates, and yes, we positioned our troops on both sides. One side here, one group, and the other side on the main entry there. So we're going to proceed alongside both directions, so to speak, and attack them from both sides if we can. Now, what I've discovered here, unfortunately, Crag the Chevalier, the legendary Knight's Castle of the Knights, does not actually look much like the historical Crag the Chevalier. Unfortunately, so it looks more of a quite large castle / town. Okay, we captured the gatehouse, I think. Yes, quite a large spatial area. Does not look like a very you know, very compact Crac de Chevalier that we know historically. It was of course positioned near the northern border of Lebanon, between Lebanon and Syria. Historically, it did not have all this architecture, all these towers. You know, they kind of remind me, what they remind me of more, let's bring more troops in, is this Malbork Castle in what is now Poland. It was headquarters of Teutonic Knights, Malbork. From around 1309 they moved in there. It's called Marienburg in German. So this is what the architecture, and if you actually been to the place, it's got this features, this big open spaces, and then you have the inner quarter as well with the, you know, actual towers there as well. It's by the riverside as well. Okay, let's bring the general in as well. And yeah, this is what it reminds me of. It's huge. This place is huge because Crac de Chevalier, it's you know, it was built by the Knights of St. John, by the you know, Hospitallers essentially. It was earlier site. It wasn't as big. It didn't have all this space. It's very like claustrophobic design, so to speak. You see, they didn't have any of this Bailey area. So, and it's like two concentric walls running along with, there is a moat between them. There isn't much in between. There isn't all of these living quarters in between there. And it could house about 2,000 men. Actually, out of 2,000, you know, only maybe 3-4% were actual Knights Hospitallers. We know there's a record at one point stating there's only 60 Knights there, and the rest of the 2,000 men were, you know, crossbowmen, archers, and all the rest of the Christian troops, but not necessarily the Knights Hospitallers. And it was taken, yes, it was an earlier site, Crac de Chevalier, earlier Muslim stronghold was placed in the area. Emir of Aleppo controlled it, and it was taken over eventually by the Knights Templar, Knights of St. John, in about 1142, and they controlled the place till about 1271. It was taken later by the Mamluks, by Baybars I, as they swept along the towards, you know, northern side of the eastern Mediterranean coast towards Armenia and Cilicia, and swept and you know, conquered all the Christian lands along the coast. So this was lost then eventually. But this place, look at how huge it is. Look at this Bailey area, and there's almost town within these walls. So the Crac de Chevalier obviously does not feature any of that. So Malbork, it would be the perfect, I think, you know, well, not perfect. Malbork is somewhat smaller than this, obviously, but it's the closest I think I can think of that it comes in terms of design and architecture. And yeah, unfortunately, you know, at this stage, Creative Assembly did not pay much attention to actually recreating historical designs of settlements. I think this was probably taken from Northern Crusade or whatever it's called. There is another campaign pack in the Crusade, in the Medieval Two Kingdoms. Out of 4, there's one is about the Americas, one is about Middle East, and one I think is the Northern Crusade. So it's probably the same design featured in that campaign, and it's actually much more appropriate. Okay, we're slaughtering them here quite nicely. Much more appropriate for that area, for Northern Europe, this design. So yeah, but later on, of course, Creative Assembly with, you know, titles like Rome 2 and Attila, they started to introduce some of the historical settlements we have, which is absolutely fantastic. And I really wish they would have, you know, the resources and will to do more of it, but they have in Rome. I think the Babylon is custom-made settlement, I think, and if memory serves me right, there's 1 or 2 more, maybe more. In Attila, obviously, Constantinople is custom-made unique settlement. So more of these unique settlements would be really good, and they do have it. It's just a pain to make them with all the pathfinding, with all these, you know, features that constructed for only and used for only one place. Obviously, it does not take precedent in their development, but it's a shame, obviously, because when you know your history and you see all these Malbork features in Crac de Chevalier, like literally all of these passages there, all this inner core, castle within castle, it really reminds me of Malbork, although not necessarily exactly the copy, obviously. But yeah, when you see that and you expect Crac de Chevalier and you receive something like this, it's a little bit immersion breaking, unfortunately. So yeah, Malbork was headquarters of Teutonic Order from 1309, when they moved their quarters from Venice to Malbork, which is in Poland, and it was their Teutonic Knights headquarters till about 1457 and was then taken over by the Polish authority. So this was placed, they moved their quarters there, Teutonic Knights, because they lost whatever holdings they had in Holy Land. They lost Montfort Castle there, and they were purchasing that. They purchased Montfort in Palestine in about 1220, but gradually they lost control as Muslims, reconquered the land, and so they moved to Venice first, established the headquarters there for a time being, but then they tried also to establish their headquarters in Hungary, but the ruler there did not allow them to kind of get entrenched there. So then they moved to Poland, and that's where they have this Teutonic Knights and Teutonic Order prospering at a time until about 1457. So this is what it reminds me of. Again, this castle, this is beautiful castle, however looks nothing like this very claustrophobic design of Crac de Chevalier. Crac de Chevalier, yes, it was really pain in a Muslim side for quite a long time, until of course it was taken over as well, was lost in about 1271, as I said before, to the Mamluks. And it was really like a masterpiece in terms of medieval Christian defensive architecture. They're still there, but with all the things that are happening now in Syria with ISIS and all the rest of it, with their barbaric actions of destroying lots of old buildings and lots of remains. I'm not sure. I've seen a video. There was some smoke coming out at some point out of the Crac de Chevalier during the fighting there. So I'm not sure how extensive the damage is. Hopefully not as bad. But yeah, there is lots of things going on in Syria. Well, now it's quieting down a little bit. And unfortunately, all these historical sites, they do suffer as a result of all these developments that take place now. So anyway, let's get back here to our attempt to capture Crac de Chevalier. As you can see, it's actually, I'm managing. Oh yes, there you go. We killed their general as well. It was a captain. I'm managing to actually push them back with my mostly light troops. I have only, 5-6, I think, heavy units. The rest are light. And I'm still managing quite comfortably to beat them back, beat the AI back. This is unfortunate, because if this was guarded by the human player, like look, now they do something sensible there, cornered my archers there. But if it was, I think my chances of capturing this place would be much slimmer, because like I said, I have 4-5 units of heavy infantry. The rest are basically levies and some sort of militia and religious fighters. They should not be able to stand toe to toe against heavy dismounted knights that he's got here in the garrison, but there you go. Okay, let's see. I want to place these archers, so I'm gonna start actually narrating a little bit what happens here now. I want to bring them onto the wall, start firing into the inner court here, as I've done with these guys. So these guys did a really good job. They killed some men. You see they're lying on the floor, and on the ground. We're trying to target them, shoot them in the back if we can. Unfortunately, AI, because of its silliness, they have decided to withdraw those spearmen from the wall and gave us an opportunity to basically slaughter them. They should have pressed ahead with the attack and killed off those archers I had on the wall. However, they did not do that, so we're taking advantage of that again. So maybe Hotseat, where you cannot actually manually resolve battles, I think would be more to my liking, because it's, first of all, it's a lot of time management issue for me, like to play this out, and then there isn't much of a challenge really. I mean, when you play against the AI, and it's a shame, because when faction is controlled by a human player, they put so much time and effort into arranging things, and then they come back to discover, oh, actually the agents infiltrated your town and is now gone, because full stack you had there couldn't do anything sensible to defend against a smaller human player that attacked it and all that. It's just I mean, I wouldn't appreciate that kind of feeling. That kind of thing happens to me, but it happens because AIs just can't compete with the human player, unfortunately. Not yet anyway. I don't know if it's possible at some point to program it to the same degree, same extent. It's not an easy job to do. and lots of balancing needs to go into it, and all the rest of it. Right, so our archers here seem to have reached the dead point. They cannot proceed any longer. There is no entry there. I wanted to move them closer there to the top of the wall, but now I'll have to withdraw them from here and find another spot for them to shoot from. In the meantime, we are entering the gatehouse. Some of our heavier infantry leading the charge with these religious fanatics there in tow. So yeah, let's see, we're going to move all of these units in, and they have a strong garrison here. I think they have dismounted knights, they have two sworded knights, hospitaller knights there as well, and something else I can't recall now, but yeah, lots of dismounted knights. They're quite solid garrison there. So we shall see. I'm going to now slowly but surely, yeah, I've captured the gatehouse, I think, by this stage, and I'm going just to bring the men in, more and more men pouring in, and just overwhelming them by the strength of our numbers, I think, because in terms of quality, we do have some, but nothing exceptional there. So they tried to recapture, it seems, the gatehouse, but our archers are still doing the damage. Like you see, they have some men, they just sit there, they sit there in a center, in a fortress center here, don't do much. If they could block my entry here, attack my penetrating approaching troops, that would be much more effective use of those men. Right now they just sit there doing nothing, allowing me to isolate and kill off their comrades there by the gatehouse. And yeah, obviously that's not gonna do anything good for them. So yeah, let's see how that's going to proceed. And by the way, yes, I'm recording this audio post factum, because I have actually, yeah, I had some issues, health-related issues, had some procedures done, and now I'm slowly recovering. I don't know if you can hear it from my voice. I'm okay-ish now, but yeah, I could not record it at the time, as when I was actually playing these turns, it was weeks ago now, I wasn't feeling great, and I just, at some point, I just gave up narrating altogether. I just recorded it. And I thought, okay, I'll narrate something later on, and I'll put the track on top of what I've recorded, because I just don't have the strength or time to do it at the moment. And because you do have to play your turn on time and then move on, then pass the save on, so that the guys can play their turn, and you don't want to let anyone down really by, you know, slow procession playing times, and, you know, delaying the whole thing. So yeah, like, look at this cluster there. They just sitting there, the AI, and doing absolutely nothing with those troops while I'm capturing and slaughtering their comrades there, just near the gatehouse. So I brought the general in as well now. Not sure what I'm going to do with him next. We shall see. I don't even remember now anything. Yes, we have a few more units coming in, hopefully. I think my main concern was, yes, not to get the general killed here at this stage. I totally forgot about my second unit of archers that I left there somewhere. But yeah, the infantry are making their way in. They're fighting their way in, although some of them are still again lagging behind over there. Oh, there are the archers. So I'm hopefully bringing them in as well. So yeah, we shall see how that's going to proceed. I think we're winning this quite comfortably in the end, but I don't really remember now, so we will have a quick look. So let's see. Okay, so yeah, they still sitting here looking very prettily, but not doing much at all, I'm afraid. And I'm just isolating 2 or 3 of their units there and totally slaughtering them. General is in here as well, heavy cavalry unit. Alright, so yeah, we're going to capture this settlement very soon. I have one more unit on top of the wall there. I do not remember why I brought them up there. Maybe I thought they're going to contest these walls, or whatever was the case. I have javelineers, Kurdish javelineers, that I'm going to hopefully use to the best possible effect, because they are really good at harassing. They're not really good at melee. Yes, especially with this heavy infantry, cannons of Holy Sepulchre, they will not stand a chance against this two-sworded swordsmen. So I'm going to place them away. They don't have skirmish mode, I think, so you have to kind of micromanage that a little bit. Yes, I'm gonna bring the general in as well, but yeah, they rout quite easily as well, the AI troops. Although, you know, looking at the quality of their troops, you wouldn't suspect that. You would think they would hold in the melee for longer than they actually do, but no, they don't. Maybe it's in the settings, you know, when you set how hard the rebel faction or whatever needs to be when you set up the hot seat. I think, I'm not sure, maybe there is an option to choose, like from easy to hard to very hard combat, because I think very hard would benefit here, because although I don't know what I'm talking about, to be honest with you, because I think that might apply. Okay, we need to move out there. Skirmishes might apply to rebel faction, but will it apply to human controlled faction, this morale bonus or experience bonus or whatever you have that is, you know, taking place with the higher difficulty settings? I'm not sure if that will apply to the human led faction actually, if they played by the AI. Maybe it will, but anyway, just a thought on what could be done. Oh, wow, there you go, they routed as well now, this superb heavy infantry. What could be done potentially to make life a little bit harder for the human player when he plays against the AI. Right, let's see what else we can do here. I think it's now coming to an end, more or less. We still have a couple uncommitted units. I think I'm bringing them in now to hopefully slaughter and outflank those units. They have, yes, some of their men are fighting, some of their men are just sitting there, and oh, there you go, they just destroy. They try now to launch an attack upon our, I think it's a skirmishes as a Kurdish, yes. Oh, and yes, Hashashin here as well. Okay, but we're going to try and skirmish with the skirmishes if we can. Yeah, there you go, nice and into the back or a flank. And yes, these men have finally been brought down. Oh, and there you go, the unit of archers that we brought. Excellent, excellent. So let's see if I don't remember what I'm doing with them, but I'm doing a good job here, it seems, in terms of properly managing and properly using my javelineers, which is good to see. Oh.
Victory is well within our
Okay,
grasp.
so we're almost there.
Will surely see
We
this
are
and lose
winning
heart.
this battle by now. Let's see if I can if I'm utilizing these archers. Yes, I think I do. All right, let's get these boys here. I think our Hashashin unit there, I've totally ignored it, and it's now suffering very, very heavy losses there. There you go. This should support them a little bit. But they're tough nut to crack. Very high morale. I think they considered one of those professional units based on, you know, this legendary assassins. By the way, it's an interesting story because assassins were also based in this Lebanon area, and they actually paid tribute to the Knights of St. John, Knights Hospitallers based in Crac de Chevalier here, because they kind of actually cooperated. Because lots of assassins politics, they were quite unhappy with the, you know, Muslim Islamic rulers, and they were actually targeting them. So they had this little weird cooperation going on between Knights Hospitallers and assassins who were also headquartered and based close to the Crac de Chevalier area there. So yeah, quite interesting story there as well. Alright, so what we're doing here, what are we doing now? Okay, well, I'm trying to reposition, it seems, my Kurdish javelineers. Probably to target the enemies better. Alright, some of my lighter units, they have taken very, very heavy beating, as they should. Some of them heavier units as well, they just idle now at the moment. I need to bring them, there you go, like this, to the fore. And javelineers, do your job, please. Hopefully that will help. Yes, so they still holding on. Our archers doing the damage as well from the wall, which is great. And yeah, there you go, that's how we slaughter them. Straight from behind. And yeah, there's one more unit doing nothing there. Yeah, I think it's also very, very good idea, if you have the time, if you're playing anything like this, just record the audio track on the first go as you play, because it saves you the hassle of doing it later. But also right now, I cannot tell you exactly what the design was behind every action that I take here, so I'm kind of figuring things out, whereas when I record it, I know exactly what I'm doing, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I can narrate that properly. I think it's a bit more interesting to watch it that way. Alright, so there you go. So there you go, the timer's on now. We almost beat them. Almost done. Hashashin are suffering very, very high casualties, it seems, but they're standing strong. And look at the beautiful job that my javelineers doing here. Fantastic. And these are the archers, I think, also absolutely smashing their units. I think I fast forwarded here a little bit. There you go. Alright, is that all they have? One man left. We'll see if our archers can manage, you know, actually killing this person, dismounted knight of Antioch, because I don't want to lose any more men if I can help it. There you go. Alright, fantastic. Done.
enemy must curse the day they were born.
Yes, okay.
All the poets
Let's fast
write of
forward.
this
What's
most
happening? Oh, there you go.
wondrous
Heroic
triumph.
victory. So we lost almost 700 men. Gained some archers, gained some experience, which is good. Gazis as well. Alright. We killed everyone off there. Whatever they had. Okay, so Crack the Chevalier is ours. We're going to suck it. Quite a nice chunk. 6,000 gold we gained there, which is really, really good. We'll try and actually... I think I wanted to return... Oh, actually, yeah, I could recruit Navy there now. Decent Navy, it seems. So yeah, recruitment is available, but I think what this does is not actually recruiting, it's just adding some padded armor or whatever. I think, I might be wrong. Right, so here, the plan is to position this army in such a way that when these guys attack, we can counterattack, unless they open the gates and capture the settlement. Yeah, I've also built, finally, fort here to block the Byzantine army. And I'm bringing some reinforcements into it, so just to hopefully hold them for a turn until I can amass an army here in Malatya and attack them. Hopefully, unless they have a spy there and they can just penetrate and move on. But in either case, it will be hard pressed. They will be hard pressed to capture both the fort and the town. I'm also tracking that army there that way, and we're recruiting more spies and more agents here in Baghdad. Because I think what I see more and more people doing is just spamming the agents. I think I didn't do that much of this initially, but I think this is the name of the game here, essentially spam as many agents as you can. I have one in Constantinople now as well, just to see what on earth is happening there. But Anatolia is pretty much done. Yeah, I think pretty much done. So I think we are actually done here with this turn. Yeah, we're recruiting a few more agents in this area here as well. Some garrison and imams. So okay, yes, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next episode.